Hello everyone, I want to make a short video. It's very early in the morning. I've been having sinus problems, allergies or whatever, so hopefully it won't be too bad, and if it is, please bear with me. But I'm in the 18th chapter of Proverbs. I'm in the Proverbs series, and it says, through desire a man, having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom. And a fool hath no delight in understanding, but that his heart may discover himself. I think I did a video on this a while back, and for someone that asked me to do about that verse, right, those two verses right there, I think. But I've always had trouble turning the situation over to God. I'm sure you may have had the same thing. You try to give it to him, then I pull it back, But wisdom comes to a man or a woman, to a man that will turn it over to God and trust him totally and give their problems to him. It's nothing better than we can do is turn it over to him. Faith is the substance of things not seen and the evidence of things hoped for. It says faith is the evidence of things not seen. Anyway, I heard a story about that. It said that this man, he had a large family, and he had ham and red-eye gravy, and there wasn't enough ham for everybody. So he went and ate before the kids did. And so when they called him in, they had the red-eye gravy and the biscuits part of it. And they couldn't see the ham, but they smelt it in the red-eye gravy, and that was the evidence to them that it had been there. So I know that some things that you don't have as much confidence in yourself, and you want others to handle it. I know, like maybe a basketball player taking the last shot. He wants somebody else to do it, or there are those players that want that shot themselves. So I want to hear your wisdom, but I want God to give me a certain amount of it. Verse 5 says, it's not good except the person of the wicked to overthrow the righteous in judgment. God loves everyone completely, and it is the things we often do that God does not like. He loves us, but he don't like some of the things. I'm not talking about sin. I'm just talking about the little things that we do that we could improve on. It's his homes. It's his instructions. I think I might have mentioned this, but had a funeral, and I really didn't know the man that well, but they asked me to do the funeral, and his brother came up from South Alabama somewhere and told me that they had a religious conversion. He had come up and they prayed with him or something, and he wanted me to tell everybody that the man was all right, which I didn't know the man. I didn't know his life that well. But from what I could determine, I didn't think that was the case. Didn't know what to do. So I just said that in my Father's house are many mansions. I used that scripture, and I told him that those mansions belonged to God, and that he could give them to whomever he wanted to give them to, or withhold them from whoever he wanted to withhold them from. So they were his mansions, and he could do what he wanted. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Verse 10. They used to have forts out in the old West, and they would, if they could just get back to the fort. Back in the Bible days, they had forts, and if they could just get back there, there'd be safety. And the troops always knew that if it got bad, they could retreat to the fort. God is what we run into. He's our strong tower. He's our fortress. And we can run to strength and safety, which is the Lord. He'll always be there, waiting with open arms to receive us, his children who run to him from the storm of the battle. Nothing can intrude on the fortress of the Lord. Lord, and I think sometimes I come to you, Lord, in the field of battle. I'm weary and I'm weak, and I need your protection and care and your love. I can rest easy if I can ever get to that fort. And I want you to open the gates with loves and let me have refuge from the enemy. I heard a story about in the Old West, they had a fort, and they saw the Indians out there for a long time, but they didn't do anything. They just could see them out there, harmless looking. They could see them out on a ridge, and they thought, well, we need to open the gates and let the children play outside for a little while. Then we'll close them, and we'll be safe again. And they did that for a while, but the Indians were out there. Open gate, closed gate. They were out there and they wasn't doing anything. So they got where they would leave the gates open longer and longer until at last they didn't hardly close the gates. And one day, the enemy decided to charge, and they couldn't get the gates closed. The old iron hinges had frozen up, and so they were massacred. So don't forsake your fortress. And the giants, the Goliaths, the giants, they're always at the gate of what you need. Before destruction, the heart of man is haughty, and honor is humility. That's verse 12. Humility is a wonderful thing. It's God blesses the person that has the idea that they're no better than anybody else and nobody else is better than them. Let each esteem others better than themselves. There was a popular book years ago that said, I'm okay, you're okay. You might have some good qualities, but you're not the only one. He that answers the matter before it is, he heareth it is folly and shame to him. And that's verse 13. A judge, there's a word in the Bible, circumspect. I know it's in the 5th chapter of Ephesians. But if a judge is circumspect, he considers all the evidence. We hear rumors about people and things are talked, but we are to be circumspect. We are to consider everything and wait and not jump to conclusions. But if a judge was hearing a matter about a person, he wouldn't take the first witnesses and the witness and say, well, that's it, it's over, I've got all I need. He would consider the ones saying this and the ones that's pro, ones that's con. He'd consider everything before he acted. And sometimes we think we know all we know to make a decision about something when we haven't looked at it from all sides or heard all sides, and then we're just looking for trouble. And that's not really wisdom when you do that. I think we ought to have a respect for others and what they have to say, and that's a real good way to show somebody they're worthwhile. I'm deficient in this aspect too. When somebody somebody else is talking, you're talking to someone else, and they're talking, you're formulating what you want to say, and you're not really listening and giving them attention. The greatest compliment you can give somebody is to listen to what they say all the way through without interrupting. You can learn a lot from others, so it pays to listen. A man's gift maketh room for him and bringeth him before great men. Our gift, that God's gift to us, it maketh room for us with other people. If you've really got wisdom, if I've really got wisdom, whoever we're talking about, men will make time for you. And so if I'm not doing too good on these videos, it's because if the true wisdom, people will make time for you. Verse 19 says, a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and their contentions are like the bar of a castle. Once you offend somebody, it's hard to get that person to let you back in their life and heart. The Bible said something to the fact that it wasn't my enemy that reproached me. Then I could have borne it, but it was mine equal, mine acquaintance. It's your friends. You know, you can go down on the job and somebody that's not family or church or whatever can say something. They hurt you, all right, but you can get over that pretty easy. But when family or friends or church people, that's what's hard because of the love. Verse 21 says, death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. You know, words got a lot of power. It's got life or death in it. They're powerful. Words are powerful. And words are like shooting a bow, an arrow with a bow. Once it leaves, you can't get it back. You can't unscramble an egg. So make sure what you say is what you want to stick. And it's really good if we learn to control our tongues. Without control, a tongue can cause disaster. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable unto thee. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing and find favor with the Lord. Verse 22. Boy, that is so true. It's not 50-50. It's 100-100. And God's math, you know, 1 + 1 is 2, but when it comes to a man and woman, 1 + 1 is 1. And I like God's math. We got a spouse, we got somebody we can get a second opinion on, and somebody that can, well, I know mine really aids me. I thank the Lord for her. When I was a young boy, my home wasn't too peaceful, and I made up my mind I wanted that, and I certainly am proud of that. 53 years we've had a peaceful home. They stick with us in bad times as well as good. That's what a good friend and a good mate will do. And I think that's probably about as far as I'm going to go today. I went a little long anyway, but I just wanted to get this to you. I did it because I love you. I didn't do it to replace you, minister, you getting to church. Not at all. I just wanted to supplement you. During this coronavirus, it's been a pretty tricky time where we hadn't been able to get to church. I remember when we had services with 9 people. That's about all they let us have in a building. But now it's getting better. But still, people's not able to go like they want to. But if you need this, I'm so glad to get it to you because I love you. I'm going to give you my phone number, 256-508-4410. If you need me, would you please leave me a message, and I'll try to get back to you. Not right away, maybe, but when I can, I'll get back to you. So may God bless you. 256-508-4410. Until we do this the next time, I hope that God will truly bless you.